Hey, welcome in. Well, it's really incredible. I mean, big tech just couldn't make it any more obvious what they're doing. They couldn't make it any more obvious. I mean, they should just say, look, we're not interested in free speech. What we want to do as an organization is push a political agenda and political ideology on everybody. And anybody who's not a part of that, we're going to censor and we're going to suppress them. We're going to make it harder for you to find their content. We're going to make it harder for them to make the content by demonetizing them. Or we're just going to ban them, right? Just ban them outright. They might as well just be open about it at this point. Anyway, here's the headline. Steven Crowder's YouTube account locked, demonetized. Crowder hints action. We've got something for them. He said, I've been warning about this for a long time, and now it's here. Well, I mean, this has been happening nonstop the entire time. In fact, I mean, he was demonetized for a year in 2019, I think. But anyway, let's take a look at this. YouTube has demonetized and locked conservative commentator Steven Crowder's account for allegedly violating the platform's community guidelines. So what is violating the platform's community guidelines? That's having the wrong opinion. That's what that is. Is it breaking the law? No. It's just the wrong opinions, that's all, or the wrong facts. YouTube also booted Crowder from its YouTube Partner Program, which allows creators to run ads on videos and turn a profit, and they've done that indefinitely. And this is all just, I believe, a prelude to banning them forever, basically. A permanent ban. Because they want to do that. They want to do it so badly. He's saying things that they don't like. And sure, none of it's illegal. It's all legal speech, but they don't like it. Why should Steven Crowder have a right to do that? Well, it's really more about you, isn't it? It's about you and me. It's about not being able to hear what he has to say. If he has an inconvenient opinion or an inconvenient fact. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. Anyway, let's continue here. So this is what the platform told the Daily Wire in a statement. It said, in order to monetize on YouTube, channels must comply with the YouTube Partner Program policies, which include our community guidelines. That means don't say things we don't like. Google AdSense program policies, which means have the correct politics, and advertiser-friendly guidelines. Which means if there's one purple-haired gremlin that contacts somebody somewhere for any reason because they're upset about it, you're done. Anyway, it continues here. Channels that repeatedly violate our policies are suspended from the partner program. In addition, we removed a video from Steven Crowder's channel for violating our presidential election integrity policy and applied a strike, meaning uploads are suspended for 1 week. So the presidential election integrity policy, I guess that just came into effect in 2020, right? In the last election, because apparently they didn't have that for the 4 years prior because anybody could say any lunacy about Russia and collusion. And P-tapes and all kinds of insanity for 4 years. Even though they had, a $25 million investigation into it, which ended up being nothing, because the whole thing was just based on the Steele dossier, which was nothing. It was just a paid-for political hatchet job that, for some reason, was taken seriously. It appears that if you have the right political opinions, you can say any crazy nonsense. I mean, you could say that Trump told people to drink bleach. I didn't see anybody getting banned off YouTube or suspended off YouTube for saying that sort of thing. So I guess they must have waited for the right moment to put in their presidential election integrity policy, right? Which basically means we got what we wanted, so shut up, all right? That's what that means. Anyway, here's what Crowder had to say about it on Instagram. I've been warning about this for a long time, and now it's here. Big tech, and specifically YouTube, have painted a target on conservatives' backs for years, with yours truly being target number one. Well, I guess the target number one used to be Alex Jones, but this is where we see the erosion of what's considered, on the far edge of things, getting closer and closer in. Anyway, continued here. Today, YouTube, just fired a huge shot across our bow. They are no longer enforcing community guidelines, but creating entirely new ones with the express purpose of removing any and all conservative voices of dissent. For the crime of investigative journalism, we are forbidden from uploading, posting, or live streaming for an entire week on the main channel. Don't worry, we've got something for them. So I'm guessing they're getting the cracking on that. Obviously they're cooking up something legal, a legal action against them, which I'm sure YouTube has an army of lawyers ready for. Now, I believe they're doing this because of the investigative journalism in which they had a video on in which they were going to addresses that were supposed to be the homes of registered voters in Nevada that were like empty parking lots and that sort of thing. Warehouses, I believe, fields, which is actual investigative journalism, the kind of journalism that nobody else will do. Just think about that. Steven Crowder, who's basically got a comedy show, that he's the one who has to go and do that because nobody in the mainstream media will. Nobody. Not Fox News. Fox News won't do it. Steven Crowder has to do it. I mean, when you think about that, it does not bode well for the future, which I'm very sad to say. And this also comes on the heels of Twitter suspending Steven Crowder's account again. And with no reason given, of course. I believe that's the fourth time in like a month that's happened to him. Does it look kind of coordinated? Probably. Is this a prelude to being banned? Probably. I mean, fortunately, Steven Crowder, he's on the Blaze. He's got the Mug Club. He's got his website. I mean, he'll still be around. And I think still viable even without YouTube monetization. But the thing is, I mean, with an audience his size, that's got to be hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. That's money that he uses to pay his staff. They put on a really good show, but you need money to do that. You need to hire people. You need to have a staff. And I'm sure his staff is like a tenth of the size of like any of the late night talk show hosts who need like 20 writers to make one Orange Man bad joke. But you got to pay his staff. So that's a big blow. And that's kind of the point. Make it harder for him to do what he does. Which is why it's important to support the alt-tech alternatives that are out there. Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, also Minds, Gab. I'm on all of those. I mean, ultimately, the way to get power back, to get free speech rights back, is to stop giving attention and money to people that hate you. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. That really helps me out. If you'd just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.